In the next few days, crypto is going to get really interesting, perhaps in a really negative way, but also there's a good chance it's all positive from here. To start, Bitcoin broke 60K, extremely bullish, but it'll basically be concluded in tomorrow's close. Tomorrow is the end of the week. That's also when the weekly candle closes, and depending on where we end up, above or slightly below $60,000, it'll most likely also set the precedent for where we are going to go over the next weeks. Well, that would normally be the case, but this week is quite different than most, because if we're not just only focusing on crypto, no, if we are extrapolating ever so slightly, what we notice is that the most important event of the year, well, perhaps even of the last few years, is happening within a few days. It's happening this Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. And what I'm talking about is the FOMC meeting. Now, what has been stated a while back is that this is going to be the event where they cut the rates. However, why things get so interesting is because now the question is going to be, how much are they going to cut the rates by? We've seen a very positive influence on inflation recently. It's been going down like crazy. How much are they going to cut the rates? The more they cut it, theoretically speaking, the more bullish the market's going to get. However, it's always a little balance of expectation and reality. If everybody's expecting, for example, a 0.5 cut, so 50 base points going from 5.5 to 5.0, for example, and it turns out to only be 5.5 to 5.25, less of a cut could impact the markets really negatively. That's on the moment it happens, though. There's another thing to think about, and that is not only on the moment itself, but slightly before it. Right now, for example, the market is filled with all these articles of people stating that right now, because the expectation from 5.5 to 5.25 has gone down to 5.0, since that's been more bullish, so to speak, that right now the markets are also pumping in lieu of that, in preparation of that. To be the contrarian here, though, there are some people who are stating that right now the markets actually are in a little bit of a fake stage where they're going up too much for the fact that most people already knew that the rates were going to be cut here. And that's what we saw, some slashes in stocks, etc., over the past week or so, because people are selling off for this event to occur, like I said, over the next few days. If you want to know the exact date, it's going to be Wednesday, September 18th. On UTC 2.0, or 2, why did I say 2.0? It's going to be 8 p.m. for our interest rate decision. This is the most important event for every single person who's in crypto or in stocks to watch out for, because this number will most likely cause a lot of volatility. Again, it's been the same for more than a year, and let's quickly just check back a little bit. It's now finally going down since February of 2022. So if you can imagine for a little second just how crazy that is going to get here, it's been only going up since February of 2022. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going down. And where it's going to go, that is the ultimate question now. It's finally gotten to a 50-50 stance between 5.0, 525 and 475.50. Very, very interesting, this one. It's going to be a really interesting day. And to me, this makes the whole event a lot more, surprising. I don't know how you could call it. A lot more eventful, perhaps, because of now this sudden change in probability, where again, this 5.0, 525 was like 80% before. It's right now back down to a 50-50, perhaps because of the... I was going to say perhaps of the inflation results, but if you're again wondering why these guys are afraid of a recession, even though everything is looking good, inflation is looking good, the rates can be cut again, is because if you start cutting rates too late, sometimes it's a little bit mismatching with the rest of things. Let's say, for example, inflation's already going down, so it looks good, but purchasing power was actually still in quite a bad spot. Now, because you are lowering the rates, theoretically speaking, this can boost inflation. So again, if inflation was going down, so it was going well, but was not down far enough. So that's why I said it's contrarian, the fact that they might now think of cutting the rates even harder because the inflation numbers turn out to be lower than was expected. And again, the lower the inflation, the better it could be to start cutting rates, because your purchases in terms of investments, your cost of capital now becomes lower. Could be weakening the dollar, though, in a lot of different terms. Anyway, like I was saying just now, if they start cutting rates, just know that the main goal for the most part is to make sure people start spending again, get that GDP up there. But if the purchasing power was already bad, well, since they're going to be increasing the inflation, so to speak, not directly but indirectly over time, the growth might be so excessive, being unsustainable, eventually leading to recessive growth. A little bit more of a pump and dump because you get too much good, in a short amount of time. That's the best way I can explain it. Anyway, if we're talking about our cryptos though, is this going to be good? Is this going to be bad? The only one thing I'll tell you every single day of the week is that none of this really matters too much for the long term. It's all short-term thing. If the US goes into a massive recession, we all know crypto will do well, but the problem is it might not do so directly. If everybody's losing all their money left, right, they might want to pull out of crypto to start buying themselves, I don't know, bread or whatever. And I can't find it just now, but Larry Fink from BlackRock just posted how extremely bullish they are on Bitcoin and why people should be, quote unquote, buying it. Matter of fact, a lot of things have happened over the past 24 hours. SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, the guy behind FTX, is trying to appeal to overturn the FTX fraud conviction. He's basically trying to say that no, he did not fraud anything, which was extremely interesting to me. One of the most interesting things that happened in a while. But if we scroll back here, BlackRock stated that Bitcoin is a hedge against increasing global disorder and declining trust in governments, banks, and fiat currencies. These institutions are not buying for the short term. As a response to that, many people have said this is just Larry Fink and BlackRock saying that because they want to sell their ETF. The way I kind of see it is they'll make their money from their clients left, right. I don't think they need to gaslight them into saying this is a good investment or a smart one when it's probably not. I don't think that would be in their best interest to lie about it unless they can keep up the lies so well that it eventually turns into truth, which again, for our perspective, would still be amazing. Now, I posted below that also a gold BTC price correlation just for fun to see how good gold actually has done over a little while. Bitcoin ultimately, did a lot better, but on a logarithmic scale, might not really look like that too much, but it did so much better. That again, gold is also actually right now, as we speak, at an all-time high. And some people were thinking, hey, why did we go up a lot yesterday? Some people are saying that that's because MicroStrategy has been buying a crazy amount of Bitcoin again over the past few days, acquiring 18.3 thousand Bitcoin at $1.1 billion at $60.4 thousand per Bitcoin. That's actually quite interesting that they were purchasing it for that high a price. Achieved Bitcoin yield of 4.4% quarter to date and 17% year to date as of 9/12/24. We hold 250,000 Bitcoin at about 9.5 billion or about $38,000 per Bitcoin. See, that's the fun thing, right? If you just keep buying it, that's why I always say it doesn't really matter. It'll all even itself out. I see on the right here, record Bitcoin ETF inflows. Wait a minute. Let's quickly see what's up here. Hey, the Bitcoin ETF saw 263 million in inflows yesterday, the highest in almost 2 months. The tides are turning. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it really looks as if the tides are turning and things are starting to look bullish here again after a few months of just negativity and all that, yada, 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 boo. Maybe the worst is not really behind us and it's only up from here, huh? Man, the amount of crazy articles of prices I've seen over the past little bit. Some people, they never stop. Oh, my camera. Some people never stop being excited. But truth be told, ladies and gentlemen, I'm crazy bullish right now. And I think that's the most important thing to understand. I am excited for the near future. Even though it might take a few months, as I've described many times here, it's all going to be worth it, in my opinion. I'm waiting for it. I'm ready. And I hope to see you guys over the next few days as things are going to start getting crazy over here.